Good afternoon, and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11, and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at the pitching for today, the 28th of June. It is Saturday. We have a 10-game day slate, and just a 3-game evening slate this evening. This is a first look at the pitching options on the day. I will be utilizing DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you do play on FanDuel, I cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. Allows you to get the stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. Now, with all that said and done, let's take a look at some weather. There isn't really any weather to worry about. I'm going to refresh it here, even though I'm pretty sure I refreshed it this morning. Some delay risk in Pittsburgh. No real wind to help or hurt us, I don't believe. Everything being 11 miles an hour or under probably shouldn't make a huge difference. But we also just don't have a ton of big-time strikeout upside on these slates either. So it is kind of a worrisome slate of games for me, just because without the big K upside, I think a lot of pitchers are going to be a lot closer in final outcomes. So that makes it a little trickier in deciding on cutting down a pitcher pool. But let's just jump into this 10-game main slate this afternoon. Starts in just a couple hours. Tampa Bay, Baltimore, great spot for offense for me. I don't think I'm getting on anybody. Littell can be solid. Really no idea why I only threw 69 pitches last time out. He had a complete game, 117 pitches a month ago. But I feel like this is a pretty good spot for offense. Littell's given up a lot of home runs. 8 of them over his last 5 starts. Obviously, 4 solo home runs against Boston. 3 homer game, 2, 4, multiple 4 home run allowed game. Definitely something to pay attention to. I definitely like him a little more than Eflin, but still, Eflin giving up a lot of home runs. 3-2 here, 3 and 4 here. Like, home runs in bunches from both of these pitchers. Definitely a spot I prefer offenses in. Seattle, Texas. Brian Wu, one of the best K-props on the slate, and that's still at 5.5. Juice to the under. I like his over, to be honest. Over that number in 3 out of the last 4 starts. Home runs have been an issue. Multiple home runs allowed in 4 out of his last 5 starts. That's obviously worrisome. I do like Corey Seager to potentially hit a home run off of him today, but that's obviously for another video. But Kumar Rocker on the other end, I'm just not taking Kumar Rocker. If Kumar Rocker wins the slate for somebody, congrats. I'm just going to pass. We do have to eliminate some guys, so that's fine. I'll play Wu in that game, and that's about it. Pittsburgh, the Mets, no interest in either pitcher. Even though it is Pittsburgh, we could obviously pick on them a little bit, but I don't really want to trust Paul Blackburn. Falter was solid against the Mets first time I faced him, aside from 5 walks. I just don't really like him in this spot. Blackburn, since his performance against the Dodgers, has been pretty bad. Like I did mention, it obviously is the Pirates, and we can pick on the Pirates generally with pitching, but do I really want to play a guy with a K-prop of 3.5 that's barely juiced over? Not really. And obviously that's the game that has the most delay risk as well. Arizona, Miami. Fott, probably somebody that we're going to play out of necessity. He has K upside, but he hasn't been very sharp over the last month and a half. It was back early in May, the last time he put up more than 13 fantasy points. So there's volatility here, but he does have multiple 20-plus fantasy point performances, one of which came against this Miami squad. I think he's probably one of the guys that just garners ownership just because on this particular slate. K-prop of 4.5, juice solidly on the over, but still, it's pretty gross when we're talking about a K-prop of 4.5 being one of the better ones. Alcantara, I think I'm going to be in on him. I've seen some plus signs from him over the last handful of starts. Still a little bit volatile, but Arizona's without Corbin Carroll, without Josh Naylor today. I think it's a weakened lineup just enough that I think Alcantara is viable. And in general, like, he's going to throw 95 to 100 pitches, or at least be allowed to approach that number. Obviously, if he struggles, so be it. But I think he's in play on this particular slate. San Fran and the White Sox. Robbie Ray, going to be super popular. Has not been very good the last 3 starts from a fantasy point perspective. K numbers can still be there. He is a little more volatile, but I like his K numbers when on the road. I've talked about it extensively. Seems to pitch more to contact when at home, trying to avoid walks, etc. His K per 9 much stronger when on the road. His batting average against much stronger when on the road as well. So Robbie Ray probably the number 1 pitcher. K prop 6.5 juice strongly on the over on this slate. And at 10.5, I don't think it's an extreme price tag at this point. Bassett, Giolito, Bassett taking on a weakened Boston lineup. I think we just have to play him and take it. Coming off a pretty solid start against the White Sox, unfortunately. Shut down Philadelphia a few starts ago. K-prop numbers, let's see if we can find them quick. 5.5, juices slightly on the over. Bassett definitely going to be in play for me, just because the slate, like I mentioned multiple times, sucks for pitching. Giolito has shown some big upside. Absolutely dominated against Seattle somehow, some way. Wasn't bad against Toronto the first time he faced him. Did give up 2 home runs. Struck out 7 though. But Toronto generally does not strike out all that much. I would guess he's going to be under 7. I mean, his K-prop is 3.5, to give you an idea. I just don't think I can get to Giolito on this slate, even with the pitching being so suspect. Cincy, San Diego. Andrew Abbott, this is a tough spot. I do like left-handed pitching against San Diego. Even Tatis has struggled against left-handed pitchers. But overall, San Diego is not a huge K squad. Abbott's much stronger when on the road, so he has some things working against him. With that said, over his last 10 starts, he's been phenomenal. I think we can mix him in just because of this particular slate, but if you look, K-prop of 4.5 juiced under. That's a pretty low number. Vasquez, I just don't think I want to go there. I don't really love the upside or lack thereof. Had 19 fantasy points against Colorado, 22 against LA. Those are the 2 teams that strike out the most in baseball. I mean, Cincinnati can strike out, but nowhere near to the level of the Angels and Rockies. St. Louis, Cleveland, Sassoni and Miles Mikolas. I'm going to end up passing on both, but I do have a little bit of interest in Slate Saccone. He's had some pretty solid starts, 21 plus in 2 out of his last 3 starts. I mean, you could try to talk me into him, but he hasn't been very good in Cleveland, and St. Louis just doesn't strike out all that much. And I'm just pretty much never playing Miles Mikolas. Like, it has to be a super specialized slate for me to really consider him. Dodgers, Royals, probably going to pass. Lugo, back-to-back strong starts. So, that is intriguing, but it's the Dodgers, and I don't really feel like I need to pick on the Dodgers on a 10-game slate. It could bite me, I guess, but whatever. It is what it is. Spears, long relief after Ohtani. Kansas City just doesn't strike out enough for me to want to consider that. The Rockies, Brewers. Quinn Priester's going to be in play, as gross as it sounds. Coming off of a rough performance against the Twins. Had looked really strong. Following an opener, etc., piggybacking off of DL Hall starts. But it is the Rockies, and they arguably are the weakest offense in baseball. I mean, It's up in the air between them, Pittsburgh, maybe the White Sox, but still, it's a great matchup for Quinn Priester. And we get K-prop of, I saw it before, 5.5. Juice to the under, but still 5.5. It's tied for basically the second best K-prop on the slate. Quinn Priester, second best K-prop on the slate. What a world we live in. But there's that first look at that slate. Now looking at the 3-gamer tonight quick, there isn't really a whole lot to talk about. Schwellenbach, Luzardo, definitely the best pitching options. On the slate. Schwellenbach was strong against the Phillies first time he faced them. Didn't really rack up strikeouts, allowed some hits. So that's always a worry, but still pretty solid, and Philly can struggle. Luzardo's been all over the place recently in his performances, but when he's on, he absolutely dominated the Mets last time out, dominated the Cubs, like two of the best teams in the National League, and absolutely dominated them for 30-plus fantasy points. Dominant against the Braves the first time he faced them, too. So we have two strong pitchers here in this matchup. Soroka, there's K upside here because the Angels strike out a ton. He just struck out 10 against the Dodgers in his last start 6 days ago. It's super intriguing. A couple mistakes in that, allowing 3 runs on just 2 hits. Was solid against Colorado, even though he allowed a couple home runs, 9 strikeouts. So there's a lot of upside in this matchup for Soroka. I think he's going to be my favorite pitcher for GPP purposes on this 3-gamer. McCullers going to be activated off the IL, supposedly. Was trending in such a strong direction, then struggled a little bit. I'm just not using him against the Cubs, but I'm super interested to see how he shows up off of the IL again. If he's going to be sharp or if it's going to take him a couple starts to get back into it. That's really it. So, I really just want to use the 3 pitchers at the top. Like, I don't really want to use Hendricks. There's probably a route to him being the SB2. Like, just don't think he's going to put up 32 again. Like, could he go put up 22? Probably. He only had 3 strikeouts and still 22 fantasy points. So if you wanted to mix in a 4th, it'd be him over McCullers for me, because I just want to play wait and see. Colin Ray, probably not going to get there for me unless I find out that he absolutely dominates against right-handed bats, since Houston's so right-hand heavy. But with all that, we are done with the slate of games. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at TFS Army. And if you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc. I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.